Hello.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Commentary Zone TCZ News for the weekend. And you have an interesting story regarding Todd Chrisley, of all people,
Right.
and a YouTuber.
Yeah, this is weird. Now I actually heard about this. Was it 2 years ago, 2019, where because he's threatened to sue, Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball, before, but
Mhm.
nothing happened. But this time around, Todd, based on um two podcasts that I've heard, he's not playing this time. Um, on his first the first episode regarding this, he spoke about he has some disparaging things to say about um Without a Crystal Ball. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I'm like, is this an extension of like 2019? Because apparently, both Katie Joy and his daughter Lindsay Chrisley, who's estranged from him, are friends. Very, 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 very odd. So I thought that was an extension of that, but this seems to be an extension, but with more things added. Because in the first podcast, which will be linked in the description, he was talking about how he got subpoenas, he got for all social media. Basically, they already
Mhm.
have the the quote unquote evidence.
Mhm.
So he was just letting everyone know, like, this is how he felt about her, and that he's not harassing her, and that that she will be served. And please give his attorney um, the address so they can serve her. So
Mhm.
we were all like, okay, you know what? We've heard this before. We'll wait and see. Then he comes back with an update saying he's definitely suing her and that she will be deposed sometime in September or October, and he looks forward to seeing across from her for the depositions. Yes.
And so when you say that he's talking about this is on his Chrisley Confessions podcast.
Yes, it's two separate podcasts. The first
Oh,
podcast was basically the threat, and that's where everyone was
okay.
like, "Yeah, we've heard this before." The second podcast, the update, is where he confirms.
Oh.
Now I've checked the pacer; nothing's been filed yet, but he's. It appears that he's serious because Katie Joy has. From what I understand and what I've heard, is that
Mhm.
she's privated several videos and she deactivated her Twitter for a couple of days, which is the same MO she used when she was being sued by Toddy Westbrook. So we believe there is some credence to this.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Well, she just got out of the situation with Tati, and now she's in a situation with Todd.
Yes, this would be her, if filed, this would be her second defamation lawsuit within 12 months. Yes, because the Tati Westbrook case went from, I want to say, October 30th and was closed on March 15th with a settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the way that lawsuit went, it stands to reason, under speculation, that they weren't really trying to win that lawsuit per se because they filed in Washington. And the case was dismissed on jurisdiction. Had
Mm-hmm.
they really, people really think they had, they've been trying to win that case, they would have filed in Minnesota.
And why
What?
Minnesota?
Because that's where Without a Crystal Ball is located.
Oh, okay.
So when you're trying to win, you file where you have the strongest case, which would be Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
There's a theory that they sued her in Washington because they want information, and knowing that she probably couldn't afford a second lawsuit if they filed in Minnesota. So they came to a settlement, an agreement, and Without a Crystal Ball actually gave up the Westbrook's, I think now ex business partner Clark Swanson as her source. That was the
Oh.
that was it stands to reason that was part of the agreement. No one will really ever
Oh.
know how that played out for sure, but the speculation is, the theory is, this is what happened. And now, what makes the Todd Chrisley situation different is that, based on rumblings and based on what we've seen, Todd plans to file in Minnesota.
Because he
When
definitely wants to go to court
he
with
wants the court,
her.
yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
Todd and
YouTube is busy.
YouTube is busy, and based on track record, Todd Chrisley seems to just sue people for sport. He doesn't care.
Well, I guess he has the funds to do that if that's his sport of choice.
Right?
I don't know. I'm scared of litigation. I don't know about
Oh
you.
yeah.
But yeah, but is do you, in your opinion,
Mhm.
think that this Katie person did something wrong with regards to Todd?
Here's the thing. Based on the clips I've seen of past videos of her, 'cause some creators are creating videos and putting clips together, which are very good. She has said some disparaging things that could be seen as defamation. Like, she's like, well, he's gay, and he's a fraud, this and that, right? So she has said, and it's on video, so you can't say you didn't say these things. The issue with defamation is, I think that the key part of defamation is you have to prove that what she said was a lie. That's part one. Part two, you have to prove some sort of damages, whether it be reputation or monetary, from what I understand about defamation and how it works. So these cases are notoriously hard to win, and they're very expensive. So for me, I don't really think it's about money, because she has significantly less money than he does. I think this is more to teach her a lesson. Like, you can't go around doing this. And I think the biggest issue here is that she has got herself involved in a family dispute, as Todd and Lindsay are estranged. I think that's the core issue.
But just looking at this from a third, like, I'm not involved in this at all, but based on, like, okay, so he was recently getting sued by the state of Georgia for unpaid taxes or something like that, right? And
Tax
that
fraud.
turned tax fraud. So that turned out to be, like, he won that it wasn't true.
The previous one, but there's still other allegations out there.
There's still other allegations. And then there's rumors that his daughter might have been the tipster.
Based on speculation, this is coming from his podcast. It
Right.
was his former CEO, Lindsay, his son Kyle, and his ex-wife were all in it together. So it's a complete family situation.
And let me ask you another question. You said that Lindsay was friends with Crystal Ball.
Yes, they're as of last check, she and Lindsay were friends, but there have been rumblings that they're no longer friends.
They're no longer
So
friends.
yeah,
So could Lindsay have been spilling family secrets to Crystal Ball for then Crystal Ball to go and talk about it, which then could have caused problems and, reputation damage and stuff like that?
that's
You
the
think that
theory.
might be the angle that he's going at?
Yes, that's the angle that's speculated, because how would Crystal Ball know these specific details? So basically, I think the angle Todd is playing, that Lindsay was using Crystal Ball to leak information. So yes, if that's your train of thought, yes, that's his working theory.
That's so, oh my God. So then he might have a chance
He might
of
have a
winning
chance.
if he could sew all of this together and make a plausible argument to the court.
Mhm.
He might have a chance.
He might, because he said, based on what he said in his podcast, he already has um all the screenshots, or some of the screenshots, I should say, and he got receipts, he says. So it'll be interesting how this plays out.
Interestingly enough, based on the seasons that I've watched of Todd Chrisley's show, Chrisley Knows Best,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't bet against him. I'll just say that.
I used to watch the show all the time. I'm a big Nana fan, and I also like Savannah. Big fan. So yeah, I used to watch all the time. But yeah, he's a bulldog, and I wouldn't bet against him. I'm with you on this one. But I'm interested to see this play out from a legal standpoint because I want to see the receipts, and I want to see the motions and the filings when they come out. So I'm interested purely from that standpoint because defamation is so hard to prove, and for him to invest the money that he did or he's going to do lets me know how serious this is on his end, just like it was on Tati's end, because they needed her to give up the source in order to help their other lawsuit.
Mm.
And in this
Oh my
case,
God.
he's coming after her because he's tired of the things that she's saying about him. I mean,
Right.
I get his point. I can sort of see both sides. Like, she said she's reporting, but I think the problem most people have is that when she reports things, there's no real sources. There's nothing hardcore to go with it, and she's presenting it as fact, from what I understand. I think, and that's the problem. When you report, you should report like, you know what, based on this, I heard this. In my opinion, this is not a fact. These are the phrases most YouTube reporters understand you have to say in order to avoid defamation. And in these cases, in the clips I've seen, I haven't seen her say any of that, and that's where the problem lies from my standpoint, from my opinion.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Well,
Yes.
thank God we don't do anything like that. We just watch reality TV, and unfortunately, he's one of the shows that I do like. He has a cute
Hmm.
family. Some of them are annoying, but I'm Team Nana all day long. Um,
I mean,
it's just a mess.
we do reporting, but when we report,
Mhm.
we go based on what we see and what we read. And I think that's a key part of reporting, is to at least be able to have a source or sources to go back to. And when we
Mhm.
say things, it's like, well, this is what we've read and this is what we've seen either on TV or on video. And this is
Mhm.
how you avoid defamation cases, because you can go, it's like, well, hey, this is where I saw this, and this is the source. You may want to go talk to them about it, versus just saying,
Mhm.
well, this is what I think, and this is the vibe he gives me. Like, you can't go around saying things of that nature. Um,
Right.
it can get you in a lot of trouble. And given this is the second defamation within a 12-month period, it does you no favors. 'Cause people have been saying this for what I understand, talking to other YouTubers for years, and now people are like, finally, like, this one may stick because he's most likely going to sue in Minnesota, which means he's actively trying to win. If this is filed, I mean, I'll be checking Pacer every day for the filing.
Mhm. Oh dear. Well, we've lost Jamal. But again, this is a very interesting story. Jamal's going to keep track of it. Again, we're going to put the Chrisley Confession podcast links in the description below so that you can see, well, listen to what Todd is saying about a possible lawsuit against a YouTuber. Interesting. We'll keep you updated on this. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, get the notifications, tell a friend. Oh my God, leave your comments below. It's been a long day. But we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So until next time, bye.